Hello folks, I'm back out in the garage again today. It's about 43 degrees outside, not too bad. I'm going to try to get the rail cut off, the top rail cut off of this donor piece, and then get the rest of it out of the garage, out of my way so I don't trip over it. I have a tendency to do that. But hopefully I'll be making some sparks and uh, maybe even get some welding done on the top. I don't know, we'll see how far we get. But I'll bring you along for the ride. Well, doesn't that present a problem? Yeah. Well, as you saw, my 20-year-old Harbor Freight weld grinder bit the dust. I literally smoked it. So we're going to try this tool out. It's a cutoff tool. I've actually never used it. It's brand new. Been sitting on the shelf for quite a while. It uses these little 3-inch blades. We'll see how it goes. Okay, well, as you saw, I was able to get the other part cut off with the air tool. I did have to stop for a few minutes every now and then to let the air compressor catch up. That cutoff tool was quite the air hog. So now I need to see if I can get those areas that I trimmed the spot welds broken loose and see if I can get that piece off. I'm sure there's some spot welds in or welding that was done along the holes here for the stakes to go in, and we'll see if I can get that thing off. The cut was just as straight as an arrow. Take a look. Oh well. It's a good thing we only need for the most part, down to about here. I cut off a lot of extra just for a little bit of fudging if I need to, but I don't want to. If I can help it, I'd really like to stay above this curve here, because that'll be hard to replicate and keep from warping whenever I go to weld. So like I say, I cut off a lot more than what I needed, but I want to make sure that I have enough material to be able to get the job done. So I'll start trying to pull these welds. I think there's some welds down inside here. I cut this away hoping I can avoid that, so we'll see. I did that on both ends. So hopefully I can just break these loose here, back in the back here. And I don't know if there's any down in there or not, but I'm sure there is at least one spot weld. But see if I can get it apart, and I'll bring you back when I do. Okay, what I've decided to do is cut this corner here completely off, because I'm pretty sure there's some spot welds down on the inside here that I'll never be able to get to otherwise. And that way I can get access to it, and then I'll cut, I don't know if this camera's going to focus, I'll cut right along in here, and then right along the top of this seam here, just in case. I know there's spot welds in here that will be next to impossible to get to, and I'm afraid that it'll mess everything up. If I try to break that loose, I'm sure I'll mess up this back lip that I really need. So I'm going to cut right along in here, and then once that's away, I'll be able to cut right along the underside of the top of the rail here, and avoid all those spot welds. Hopefully this whole area will then just lift right off, and I'll probably have to do the same thing on the other end to be able to get to be able to take this off without damaging it. So I'll bring you back in. Like I said earlier, I'll bring you back in once I get this whole piece off. Well, there's some welds in there that I just can't get to. So I'm just going to have to start hacking away. I've brought out the big boy. Let's show you what I got here. Sawzall. If that doesn't do it, I don't know what will. So I'll start hacking away and see if I can get this thing pulled off. Well, it might be 41 or 43 or whatever it is degrees out here today, but I actually worked up a sweat wearing that jacket, cutting that, using that Sawzall to cut the panel off. But I did get it. It wasn't without a lot of cussing and stuff like that. You wouldn't want to see all that. But anyway, I had 6 blades, and by the time I got done, I only had one new one left. It kept hitting on things and bending blades, and it was quite aggravating. But I'll show you what I got. I've got both panels. I got the whole top panel off, but it fought me all the way. I'll show you what happened. I'll turn you around. Come to find out, the back end of the panel back here had welds along the inside on the top. It had 2. There was no way to get to those to just cut them off, so I had to cut through both panels at the same time, the outside and the inside. This side over here, once you got past this one stake hole, when I cut it down that way, over here, the darn thing just fell right off. That was wonderful. But this side over here fought me like a dang hyena. I got it off, and here's what we got. What we ended up with. This was at the back end of the truck on the other side. So I cut this, saved this piece here to put in here to cover this hole right here. So I'll just put that in there, and then I'll probably end up cutting this off here and using the rest of this panel back here on the back to cover all these rust holes, because this is perfect perfect length. And then I ended up with this piece here left over, and this will take care of this rust hole right there. So I won't use this whole thing. I'll just cut it off here on the, let me get a better angle. Cut it off here on the top side, along in here, and not disturb this area in here, because there's nothing wrong with that. It's easily clean upable. Anyway, I won't cut along here. I won't cut this out because it's fine. I can clean that up. But then I got this piece back here. This will go back in the back. Let's see. And I got this piece here to go the whole length, basically all the way to the end here, and all the way over here to where I'm going to be cutting that one piece, small piece out of the other end. So I've got all I need, actually more than I need, but now it's just making everything fit, cutting all the old stuff off of the truck that's rotten, and getting this cleaned up and welded in. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get any of that done today or not, but we'll see what happens. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day today. I'm pretty happy that I got these panels cut off. I'd like to be able to do a little bit of fitment on them and start cutting the parts off the truck that I need to replace and get everything fitted up. But unfortunately, with that weld grinder going bad like that, I don't have really a good way to cut those things down other than that air cutoff tool, which worked great, but unfortunately the blades for those are a lot more expensive, and so I'm going to go ahead and use the weld grinder. I have to go to Harbor Freight tomorrow and pick up a new one. Use the weld grinder to make all the big long cuts that I need to make, and use the air cutoff tools to make all the fine cuts, the actually exact fitment, so that I can get the panels as close as possible to be able to weld them together. So I'm gonna call this a day, and we'll bring you back again hopefully tomorrow. Get you out here in the garage with me again, and we'll do a little bit of fitting of these panels and start getting the other old panels off the truck. I appreciate you guys watching, and please like, subscribe, and give me a comment and let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions or comments, I'd love to hear them. For now, I'm going to be signing off, and we'll see you in the next video.